You can feel completely lost trying to compete with photographers that have 10, 20, 30 years of experience and gear and connections over you. So I want to give you some of the lifestyle changes that can benefit your skill as a creative, your health as an individual, and your career as a freelancer. So let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Sergio and I'm a commercial photographer here in Victoria, BC, and the domino effect is something that affects all of us. Whether we want it to or not, getting the ball going sometimes is the hardest part of anything. Setting up all those dominoes might be buying the gear, might be watching all these YouTube videos, might be taking in all of the knowledge that you can, but you actually have to start doing the thing if you want to be the thing. If you want to be a photographer, if you want to be a filmmaker, if you want to be a tattoo artist, you have to start tattooing. You have to start shooting. You have to start doing the things that actually benefit your skill as a creative. There's only so much advice that you can take in from me and from a bunch of other YouTubers and from anyone around you that can equate to actually putting the work in and putting the practice in order to be successful. Keep the lack of complacency that you have as a driving force for your domino effect, for the keeping the ball rolling effect. You want that desire to learn. You want that drive to constantly be better. You want to just be a little bit smarter today than you were yesterday, every single day, all the time. Oh, we have a visitor. Hey, sweetie. What will make you a better photographer is obsessing over those little nuances that other people aren't doing. But sometimes when you're, again, staring at that blank screen, or when you have no inspiration, or you don't know what to shoot or how to get any new bookings in, or if you're just at a standstill, it's hard to just start. But that first step is the most crucial and the hardest one that you'll have to take. After that, it just gets easier because you have that momentum behind you. Don't worry about having to take the most perfect first step either. You're going to learn more with every time you fail, every time you make a mistake, every time, even if it's public and other people are seeing your mistakes in real time. You have to share things, you have to make things, you have to create, and you have to just move on to another thing. You have to keep going in this path, and that's how you build a career that you look back at. No one just, I guess some people start with Lock, Stock, and some people start with Reservoir Dogs, but most of us in our creative endeavors would cringe at our first works of art, let's say. Like when we look back at how we started, and especially if we have any bit of progress, it's like, whoa, I am glad I am not where I was. So if you're a beginner and you're looking at someone who's 20 years down the road and you're like, man, I wish I could just turn up and get paid all these amounts of dollars and take these gorgeous photos all the time in any location that I'm in, that takes time to build. And that person started with that first domino as well. It started with one camera, one lens, one flash, one dream to be better. If you feed your body crap, it's going to want crap continuously. It's going to crave it more and more. It's a downward spiral, so to speak. Like, I'm no saint here. I love my snacks. I'm not telling you that, you have to be a perfectly healthy individual to be a creative or a photographer or a filmmaker or whatever it may be. But it's adding extra roadblocks that you are going to be seeing or encountering all the time. One of the things that my parents, or at least my dad, ingrained in me as a kid growing up, one of the most pivotal, important things that I might have taken for granted. Not that I took it for granted, but I didn't take on how impactful that statement really is. But it really is just that health is the most important thing. If you're healthy, then nothing else really matters. You can figure it out. And I think you can extrapolate from healthy. That could be a healthy mind. That could be a healthy posture, which, but all of these things that can help you be a better photographer are the things that you're probably not thinking about. If any of you, for some reason, think of interior design, you want to declutter your high traffic areas because you use them all the time and you'll be encountering that space all the time. Well, think of that with your body and your health and what it is that you're actually bringing to every shoot. yeah, you bring a camera, but you're also bringing like your bad back and your bad knees and your crappy shoes and all of the other things that are hindering you from actually taking a good photo. I'm not saying you have to be like the guy from Don't Die, that Brian Johnson, the documentary on Netflix, if any of you have seen it. I'm not saying you have to be like him, but you just have to be a little bit more conscious of what you're bringing to your shoots, which is you as a human being. If you're healthy and you are able to not worry about those little things, that's great. That's where you actually want to be. A lot of what we buy as photographers is things that help us with our peace of mind. And, oh, I can spend an extra $500 on this kind of stand instead of that kind of stand, but at least I'll be able to do this instead of that. But we don't think about, maybe a back brace so that we can shoot for an extra 2 hours at the wedding. Or I don't know, maybe a pair of knee pads. It might go a little bit longer than a new lens if you like to shoot wildlife and you're missing out on the shot because your bad knees are hurting you or whatever it may be. You got to be mindful of who's taking the photos, not just what the photos are being taken on. And that first step is just about feeding yourself properly, cleaning your environment, and just bringing a healthy state of mind to your photography. Now, the domino effect can absolutely help your business, especially if your health and your skill is up to par already in that domino effect. But your business will also benefit, and I have a perfect little anecdote of a shoot that happened to me recently because of a friend of a friend who had a friend that needed a photographer here in Victoria. And I just happened to be that person. Sometimes I say that mostly as just like an expression or as an idiom, let's say. When I'm in these videos, I'm just talking about, a friend of a friend who will book for you. But this is like actually happened like last month by the time you're watching this. It's a real thing that actually happens. And that only happens if you start making those connections and you start going outside of your bubble. You know the expression like you can't get a job because you don't have experience, but you don't have experience because you don't have a job. And it's like, I don't have any friends because I don't go out and I don't like going out. But that's why I don't have any friends. But you have to make those connections and you have to step out of your comfort zone because you never know who that 1% of 1% of 1% is going to own a business and need new headshots or whatever it is. But you need to be that person, that domino down the line to everyone else. And the more of those branches, the more of those connections you have, the more likely you are to be a successful or at least a booked, continuously creative. The vast majority of us started with absolutely nothing and no connections and not the kids of some directorial parents. So don't think that it's unreachable when you're looking at these creators or at these photographers or you're reading books of these people who seem to have, they've been shooting in Hong Kong for longer than you've even been alive. Like, you're like, how do I compare or compete or how are they booking the same jobs that I'm trying to book? Like, this is crazy. Well, take a step back and realize that you're not going to make it to the end of your career by next week. I said that in the video recently and I quite liked how it sounded. It just kind of came out and now it sounds weird when I'm forcing it. But it's true though that you're not anyway, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Keep at it, enjoy that process, and you'll be a real rich and successful photographer if that's what you want, or if you just want a consistent career as a photographer, that's also easy to get if that's what you want for yourself. Easy is a caveat. It takes a certain type of person for it to be easy for, but if you are that type of person, this just kind of comes natural to us. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you got a little something out of this one. Leave a comment if you did. Leave a like on your way out. Maybe subscribe if you're not. Ooh, getting all YouTube here. I'll see you in a couple days. Later.